having put up a noble effort against the Warrington Wolves, making one or two changes from that performance. John Steele is a man notably left out, and a late withdrawal for Ross Devorty because of illness. Dane Manning coming in on the bench, but Ian Hardman starts at full back. Then it's Tom Saxton, Jesse Joe Parker, a man to look out for, 13 tries this season. Michael Cody, Zach Hardacre, Kyle Briggs and Liam Finn. And in the forwards, Tony Tonks, Ben Kay, Stuart Dickens, Matty Dale, John Gratian and Jamie Fields. And on the bench, Andy Kane, Ian Morrison, Danny Allen and Dane Manning, who comes in place of Ross Devorty for coach Darryl Powell. Now the Keighley Cougars, well, they should have had their feet up this weekend. This was their bye weekend, but they're not unwillingly back in action, very keen to get this game brought forward and step into the breach in place of Toulouse. So well done to the Cougars, who have George Rayner at full-back, Craig Moss, Tom Burton, James Haythornthwaite, Gavin Duffy, John Presley and Danny Jones. And in the forwards, Andy Schickel, Jermaine Ray, Ryan Benjerfield, Will Cartledge, Chris Baines, and a return at loose forward after injury for Carl Hughes. And on the bench, Oliver Purseglove is back as well, James Feather, Greg Nicholson and Brendan Rawlins. Nicholson, one of 4 former Featherstone players in this Keighley side for coach Barry Eaton. Well, as mentioned, Featherstone Rovers very much the form side at the moment, with a 100% record and unbeaten in 6 home matches this season. So a formidable task for this Keighley Cougars side, added to the fact that they lost the toss and will be battling uphill in the first half here. There is Jermaine Ray, who will be a crucial element in what will undoubtedly be a big Keighley Cougars effort. This is the 3rd time we've seen the Cougars this season, and every time, Terry, they haven't been short of enthusiasm and endeavour.
And they're getting better every game they play. That man is real pivotal, Jermaine Ray. They're up against the real good side, this Featherstone Rovers. They went to Warrington, they got caught in the first 8 minutes. Warrington scored 3 tries, but the second half performance will instill a lot of confidence to Darryl Powell, where they went down 12 points to 16. It's an 80-minute game, but I'm sure that Keighley are going to turn up and try and target this result. They're fresh, they're ready for the challenge, and they're in for a good game.
Gareth Hewer is the referee from Whitehaven. One absentee, notable absentee in this Keighley side. There's no Daly Williams, that's why James Haythornthwaite is playing. Daly Williams, a victim of Eyjafjallajökull, that Icelandic volcano. He was on holiday in Mallorca, and Daly Williams is still in Mallorca, having an extended holiday. And the message, Daly, because apparently you've found somewhere to watch this from Barry Eaton, is get in the gym.
The message is, you lucky sod.
Well, Daly Williams missing this one out, and Haythornthwaite, who's been a notable presence on the bench for the Cougars, the times we've seen him on Sky Sports this season, stepping into the centres, and high hopes of this youngster. He's been tracked by 1 or 2 sides, but already Featherstone Rovers showing their hand and giving this ball plenty of width. There's no shortage of points in this Featherstone Rovers side. They're running in of something like 40 points a game. Such is the way they're playing.
And they're backing it up in the defensive department as well.
In the 40, kick it clear.
The kick was in the 40 from Briggs, but too strong.
20.
Finds
Wait to get inside,
touching
Jonesy.
goal and restart on the 20.
Wait to get inside. Still people coming
Once
back.
again, Gareth Hewer instructing them to take the restart from right in the middle. So Schickel takes the ball up.
Keighley really do need to play the ball as quick as they can. This is where the game's won. It all starts at the ruck. How quick can you play it? Featherstone been very dominant. They've only conceded 64 points in the games that they've played this year. They like to slow the opposition down. As I said earlier, that man Jermaine Ray is pivotal to this Keighley side.
The Cougars, Barry Eaton, their coach, was very pleased with the performance they put up against Halifax a couple of weeks ago. A really game performance for an hour before Halifax went away with it to win by 40 points to 20.
Wait, Liam.
But the Cougars really do believe that despite the adversity they've faced this season, being minus 9 points at the start of campaign, and that's an ambitious pass that doesn't come off, but they can get their way out of trouble. Still on -2. Haythornthwaite with the pass, didn't come off.
I think the big question tonight, Bill, is how this Featherstone team are going to react to the exertions of last Sunday. I watched them against Warrington. They were outstanding, and you could see how well coached they were, but it's going to be difficult to back up. Can Keighley speed this game up enough, Terry, to bring out the tiredness, the emotional drain that Sunday would have taken out of these Featherstone players? Can Keighley expose that tonight?
Well, Keighley have not played for 2 weeks, and I'm sure Barry Eaton's took on this game because Toulouse couldn't make a fixture coming over here, so I'm sure that they're confident and they are up for this challenge.
Here's Joe Parker. He is through the middle, and the PNG international heading for the line. He's still trying to find a way, gets the pass out wide. They're coming back in field, still looking for the try. And are they over? It's a decision for the video ref.
Can you just check the ground, please, Ray?
They're just going to check out, did he reach out, did he ground this ball over the line?
It's Michael Cody who thinks he's got the try, but did they manage to hold him up?
He's big, he's athletic, he's strong.
He's held up, surely.
Yeah, he's short there. Good defence, there's 3 Keighley Cougars defenders there. See it from another angle.
I'm going to give that.
You've got to give it from that angle.
That's a try.
He's just managed to get the point of the ball on the whitewash by the look of things.
4 Keighley defenders trying to prevent him from scoring that try, Michael Cody.
Gareth Hewer waits for the decision from video ref Ray Tennant. The try is awarded. Michael Cody gets his first try of the season. The dual-registered player with the Leeds Rhinos. And he finished off the move that Jesse Joe Parker was instrumental in creating.
Jesse Joe Parker is so exciting. Featherstone really do look to give him the ball, let him set his line, he comes back, he beats a couple of men, he's so strong, he goes in, he's looking for support, he keeps his feet, he doesn't go down, passes the ball to Michael Cody, and look at the strength from this guy. There's 4 players in attendance trying to prevent him from scoring that try. But you talk about balance, you talk about speed, you talk about footwork, this man's got it all. He can score tries and he can also create tries. Michael Cody, he's big, he's athletic, he's strong, and he gets the try for Featherstone.
Did well to stretch out and get that ball down. Now then, can Briggs add the extras? He succeeded 51 times so far this season. He's bang on target with that one, and Featherstone Rovers get the start they would have wanted and that Keighley feared. That early try, 6-0 up they are, and Daryl Powell had any fears about his side backing up after that arduous game at Warrington. Well, no signs of any fatigue early on here yet from his side. And there is Michael Cody. He's spotted by Tony Miller, the Doncaster coach, playing for Loughborough Rugby Union, Loughborough University I should say, their rugby union side, and persuaded him to have a crack at rugby league. And Leeds have seen his potential as well, but he's now here at Featherstone as a dual-registered player.
And remember that game when he played last year for Doncaster, he played against a Halifax side, and again he was outstanding in that game, and Gary Hetherington and the staff there seeing the promise in him. This is what Keighley can't do. Jermaine Ray losing the contact, ripping the ball, trying to slow Featherstone down. You can see that Dickens, he runs in, he's trying to get on his front, he runs hard into the collision. Jermaine Ray just has a little sniff of that with the ball, and again they're on attack.
And Keighley having trouble halting the charges, that one by Gratian. Here's Tony Tonks now, and Tonks driving that ball in at the heart of the Cougars' defence. Benjafield gets a hold of a leg and tries to drag him back. Finn directing operations. Little short pass, almost over with Ian Hardman. Hardman just short of that try line. There's Finn once more. Field now, and Jamie Field will stretch out. Oh, and can't quite get there. Good defence from the Cougars that time. But can Dickens get over? He's lost the ball, and a chance goes begging for Featherstone Rovers there. And it really did look as though Jamie Field was going to cross there.
Well, they were almost queuing up, weren't they, Bill? Couldn't quite hold on to it. It's a bit worrying for Keighley. Keep an eye on the pivots for Featherstone tonight. Kyle Briggs, Liam Finn and Ben Kay, outstanding in the defeat against Warrington. And as this game loosens up, it's already got a little loose in defence, but around the ruck, watch for Liam Finn to put little inside plays on and expose some tired Keighley defenders, or some lazy Keighley defenders.
Well, I don't want to worry Keighley Cougars supporters, but the Cougars have a poor record here at Post Office Road, or should I say Big Fellas Stadium as it is now. It's no longer Chris Moyles, although not much of a transition from Chris Moyles to the Big Fellas Stadium. It's now the Big Fellas Stadium anyway, and wherever it is, it's Featherstone's home ground, and Keighley don't have a good record here. They have lost on their last 10 visits here, and they've usually conceded 40 points or more.
That won't help the cause. Jermaine Ray cricking out on the full. It comes down as the 4th tackle, so it comes back to where he kicked the ball from. But I wonder, Bill, do you have to be a big fella to play here? Because look at the size of the forwards from Featherstone.
They would have signed you if it was.
Front foot, Tony, front foot! That's it.
Featherstone Rovers then head and feed at the scrum. They lead by 6 points to 0. That early try from Michael Cody. Now here's Ian Hardman.
Move!
Just inside their own half. And Keighley really haven't had much of an opportunity with ball in hand. That last set was their best, and they put the ball out on the full, so find themselves under pressure again. Finn across the field, Jamie Field out wide. Here's Cody once more. Cody, ball over the top. Too ambitious that was. Over the head of Tom Saxton and out of play.
It was ambitious. Michael Cody, all he had to do was take this tackle, go for the next play. That's what happens sometimes when you score a try. You get a bit too confident until he attracts the winger. He thinks that he's done his job, trying to unleash Tom Saxton, the winger for Featherstone.
I have no doubt, looking at this, if Featherstone go through the processes and stick to the game plan that Darryl Powell has asked them to do, they'll put Keighley to the sword. But little incidents like that, Terry, when you get a bit carried away and you're finding yourself getting through the opposition with ease, sometimes you do get carried away and you force a ball otherwise you wouldn't otherwise pass.
Go.
Cougars in possession with Jermaine Ray, captain of the Jamaican international side.
Tackle 3. Move.
3 tackles gone. Plays that ball. Jones now gets thumped in the tackle. Presley is retreating. Another of the former Featherstone players, Johnny Presley, manages to retrieve that ball, but they've lost ground, and Chris Baines trying to regain some of that lost ground, but that's the 5th tackle.
I'm watching Featherstone in the warm-up. There's some real sting going into the shots in the warm-up. They were real physical with each other. And again, a real poor kick from this Keighley side.
And you know, credit Ben Kay for that. It was his tackle that drove Keighley back and forced them to kick from inside their 20.
Zach Hardacre it was who was underneath that ball, and immediately Featherstone are again looking to give this some width, and Saxton was trying to get the pass away. He had Hardman in support, and they're up to the 40-metre line in the Keighley Cougars half, and with tackles in the bag. Here is John Gratian now, and Gratian still looking to offload as he was heading for the ground there. Kay sends him down the short side. Saxton twisting and turning. He's looking to offload that ball. 4 tackles gone. Keighley again back on their own try line, defending this set of 6. Here is Liam Finn. Finn. Briggs shows the dummy, finds the gap and finds the try line, does he? Or has he lost the ball? He's got the try, says the referee. Well, for a moment it looked as though Briggs had lost that in the process of try scoring, but it was right under the nose of the referee. And Kyle Briggs gets his 6th try of the season.
Well, there's no hesitation from the referee. Gareth Hewitt to award that try to Kyle Briggs. Pivotal to what this team's all about. You can see Liam Finn, another player. They really do take the ball to the line. He pumps it, and it's Haythornwaite who falls for that dummy, and he's just got too much power to go over Rayner. You see the grounding from this angle. He keeps it up, he keeps strong, he grounds that ball. Well, it's been awarded by Gareth Hewitt.
The ball hits the ground. Well, Briggs has got the try.
The referee said.
Briggs has got the try. He's now got the opportunity to convert. Here you go.
He reaches his arm out. He's definitely over the line. Has he got control on this ball? Yeah, that's a try. You're a bit harsh there, Bill.
I wasn't being harsh at all. It's correct. The ball hit the ground.
controlled.
Absolutely. So between us, we've got the decision right. Gareth Hewer just needed his own eyesight right underneath his nose. Try awarded. Briggs with the conversion attempt. And this to extend Featherstone Rovers' lead to 12 points to 0. And they are off and running again, this high-scoring Rovers side. The pace setters in this cooperative championship division, the only side with a 100% record in any of the 3 divisions. They have tasted defeat this season, not just that Warrington loss, but they also lost at Leigh early in the Northern Rail Cup. But as far as the championship goes, they're in pretty unstoppable form, and it again shaping up to be a really interesting clash up at the top there. Leigh, of course, rejuvenated. Halifax inconsistent. Barrow Raiders yet really to strike their form, although they've now got a cup competition to think about, perhaps.
Wonderful result that for the division as well, wasn't it? Barrow knocking over Castleford. A feature of the Featherstone play is the amount of option runners that they have off the ball. It allowed Kyle Briggs to go in that time. It's pulling defenders away from the ball carrier. Well coached by Darryl Powell.
There's the Featherstone Rovers captain, Stuart Dickins, and Dickins able to somehow offload that ball from a posse of Keighley players. Now here's Jesse Joe Parker, played against England in Townsville in the World Cup.
Go.
And Briggs now on the last, and Briggs, little chip kick over the top, but Keighley were able to read that one before Gratian could get there.
But that's a worrying sign for Barry Eaton, the coach for this Keighley side. There was 4 players around Stuart Dickins, and he still managed to offload that ball. You've got to make sure that you put him to ground and you control the second phase from this Featherstone side.
3, move.
Benjafield tackled just inside his own 20. And here's the next big unit, Andy Schickel, scorer of a memorable try against Halifax last time, a couple of weeks ago, last time Keighley were on Sky Sports.
Play on.
But no sign of a try or anything like one for the Keighley Cougars so far this evening. Coming up to 12 and a half minutes gone, and they've spent most of the game so far on the back foot, having to cope with runs like this from young Zach Hardacre, who really is a talent, this 19-year-old try-scorer in that Challenge Cup defeat against Warrington at the weekend. Retaining his place, John Steele was the obvious choice, but Darryl Powell opting to keep Hardacre in the side. And they've just tied him to a new 3-year deal. 1 or 2 Super League clubs have noted this guy's finishing ability.
And Bill, you can tell Keighley starting to get a bit tired. The chase, the middle channel was really slow on that kick return, and trying to put pressure on Ian Hardman. They need to really step up this defensive effort, Keighley.
Liam Finn, well, the ball somehow squeezes out, and somehow Keighley get it back. That was good alert play from them.
They could be hard done to there. I think Andy Schickel knocked that ball forward. But anyway, relieving for Keighley to get the ball back.
To get into the Featherstone Rovers half, which is a rarity so far. Gareth Rayner, though, spun to the ground.
And you feel that they just need to get through this set of 6, don't you, Brian?
Yes, this is going to help, this penalty. But this set that's going to follow this penalty is going to be important for Keighley. Try and put a bit of pressure on Featherstone, but more importantly, take a bit of pressure off themselves.
Tony Tonks penalised, much to his dismay.
Get your hand in there, you've got to get your hand out. Let's move.
So an opportunity now for Keighley Cougars maybe to construct a solid set of 6 here. They don't have to score. They're just got to put something together and get Featherstone on the back foot for a change.
That's exactly right, Bill. They don't need to score in this. They need to.
Oh, but they could have almost gifted Featherstone an opportunity to score with that long, wide pass.
Craig Moss done well to gather that ball back in, but they just need to get to the kick. Whether they stick it in the corner, get a repeat set. It's not even about building pressure, but getting the energy back into the legs.
Johnny Presley doing well to get that pass away there, and Tom Burton doing well to take it under pressure as well to keep this movement alive. That's the 4th tackle, though. They're on the 20.
Go, hold on, Jimmy.
Jones now. The long pass for Presley. Presley shows the dummy and goes, and he's got great pace through a gap as Presley looking for a quick play the ball. He finds it. Jones, cross-field kick. Saxton is under pressure this time, but Saxton has knocked it on, and that'll be the knock-on from Saxton.
Well,
goal line dropout.
Here's that repeat set that they're after.
20.
Saxton knocks the ball forward.
20. Get up the keeper, man
Oh, got a few saying that the ball's come off the Keighley man first.
I didn't.
Well, that was a touch judge's decision, I think.
This is what really will disappoint a coach. Penalty, relieving all the pressure that they had, any sort of pressure they had on Featherstone, to concede a cheap penalty, and that's the second time the same player has given away the same penalty.
Here it is. Does this come off? That doesn't come off him.
He's made a mistake there.
That's a poor decision, but when things go against you, you can't give penalties away like that. And Jermaine Ray was frustrated, and that's why he gave that penalty away. Just get on with the game, Jermaine.
Well, from thinking they were having a goal line dropout, had forced a goal line dropout, and would be getting the ball back, Keighley Cougars are once more heading back towards their own try line, courtesy of a decision that, shall we say, didn't do them any favours.
Was wrong.
But it's all about reaction, how you react to that.
Well, they could be reacting by grouping once again to see Featherstone celebrate a try, but they're driving Kyle Briggs back there, once again on their own try line. 4 tackles gone. Benny Kay pops that ball up, and here's Liam Finn once again teasing the Keighley defence, and the ball goes to ground from Jamie Field. The knock on there, he was under no real pressure. Jamie Field back in the side after a bit of a back problem.
But again, it's the width that's really catching Keighley out. With 2 passes, they get to the other side of the park. Jamie Field just couldn't tear that ball in. Having a little look at what was in front of him. But in Briggs, in Ben Kay, we've got 3 real outstanding pivots.
Keighley promoted last season via the grand final, having beaten Oldham. And starting the season in adversity, and they are beneficiaries of a penalty there. Featherstone offside.
Well, it's Jamie Field who made the error on the other side. He's come over the other side trying to dominate, get off the ruck, slow Keighley down. He's given the penalty away, trying to make up for his mistake.
So an opportunity once again for Keighley Cougars maybe to build something, and here's Will Cartledge taking the ball up. He's tackled. Now Benjafield met by Stuart Dickens. 2 tackles gone. Plays the ball. Jermaine Ray serves it up for Jones. Jones for Schickel, and Schickel charging through the middle. Gratian clinging onto him for all he's worth. Morrison there
2 feet long
on the field to join in the tackle, but this is a good opportunity for the Cougars once more. Here's Rayner, puts the brakes on and gets the ball away, and it's knocked on, says the referee.
Disappointing end to that set. Disappointing end after a great run by Schickel, but I think he has knocked it on. Enough Featherstone defenders there to cause him trouble, force him step back inside. Has there been a little play at this ball?
Doesn't look like it. He just lost control of that, didn't he?
I agree.
Formation, go.
George Rayner protesting that Liam Finn had stripped that ball away, but no time to hang around and debate that, because they've got the ball away to young Hardacre. But Rayner is there to make the tackle. Here is Jesse Joe Parker now, the PNG international. 13 tries to his name already this season, including a couple of hat-tricks.
Wait, go.
Now Ian Morrison.
But what about that play from Jesse Joe Parker? He was big and strong in the tackle. He attracted 5 defenders to him. Obviously, there's going to be a gap somewhere on this pitch.
4 tackles gone. Dickens on the halfway line. His Featherstone Rovers side lead by 12 points to nil. And here is Cody again. Jamie Field it is, I beg his pardon. And he'll play the ball on the last now, and Finn hoists that one across field. And well taken, very well taken by Gavin Duffy. Now then, Duffy trying to get away, but Hardacre showing his pace to come back to make the tackle. But they get the quick play the ball, and they're going down that short side. It's with Carl Hughes.
Spread this, but get it away from here. It's where Featherstone are defending. Get it away from there.
Well, Cartledge it is who play the ball. They've lost a bit of momentum here. Jones, Benjafield trying to bust through the middle there, but that's the 4th tackle. Certainly Keighley Cougars responding well to having conceded those early tries. Cartledge has lost that ball, and Jesse Joe Parker is going to scoop it up. Play on, says the referee. Parker straight down the middle. The ball over the top, and well taken by Cody. Cody is tackled, says the referee, and gets the penalty And Presley just protesting that the referee hadn't called held.
Cody and Parker are causing real problems for Keighley. It's Presley who tries to slow him down. He comes over the top. But again, this Featherstone outfit on the attack.
On the line.
Briggs is tackled on that 10-metre line. Here's Morrison now. Morrison battling his way to the try line.
2 feet and wait.
Ben Kay wants the Harlequins back here for a second loan spell. Ignites this attack. Here's Jamie Field again, and that ball goes through the hands and was knocked on, says the referee eventually.
Jamie
Field
Field
not best pleased.
No, and it's the second time, Bill, in exactly the same situation. He's got to get the ball into his hands first before he worries about putting a play on. He's got a lot of options outside him, and I think he's getting distracted by that. Get the ball in your hands first, then put your play on, because I think he's got the Keighley defence on toast on the Featherstone left edge.
Well, maybe a bit rusty, having been out with this back problem.
Out.
Maybe a bit rusty, but you can't help but feel that this Featherstone team, should it click, they're ready to erupt.
Move. Wait.
They lead by 12 points to nil. First quarter of the game gone, and Keighley once more trying to battle their way up the hill here at the Big Fellas Stadium. Here's a big fella in Keighley Cougars colours, Andy Schickel. Tackled by another big fella, John Gratian, and he must be pushing Earl Crabtree for tallest in the game. I'd have thought in the 6'4" plus region. That's a good kick. And it's turned Hardman around.
That's an excellent kick by Jones. Excellent kick.
It's a 40-20.
Under all that pressure, the forwards weren't making any inroads whatsoever. He thought, I'm getting out of here.
That's huge.
That is a fantastic effort.
And that's lifted the Cougars side a few...
I mean, that's a huge kick. I mean, the distance between the 30 and the 40 admittedly isn't huge on this pitch, but that kick was massive.
And it's given Keighley Cougars another good platform. Now then, can they get some points on the board here? They've threatened. They're threatening here now. It's with Haythornthwaite. Tackled just short of the line. Using the big guns at the moment. Brendan Rawlins is stopped just short. Change of direction. Oh, and Schickel not only blasts his own man down, but there's obstruction there. Well, that's James Feather didn't know anything about that.
He's run straight into his teammate James Feather. I think something must have gone in training early on in the week, because he's clashed him straight out of the way. Big Schickel.
That's adding insult to injury, isn't it? You get cleaned out by your own teammate and then concede a penalty.
Well, I think it's 1-0 to Schickel, me.
We got the stats men here scratching their heads. They don't know whether to give him a tackle or not.
Well, it's a penalty for Featherstone Rovers.
They're getting up into Featherstone's 20, but they've got to be more clinical. There's got to be more people pushing around the ball. That's why Featherstone looks so good and so formidable this year. Just look at the options that they have. Whenever time Briggs or Finn get the ball and they go into the line, there's options inside and out the back.
Field, short ball to Gratian, coming back on his inside, tackled on the 40-metre line, just managed just to crawl a couple of metres further. Finn, a nice short pass from him. Matty Dale is through, returns the compliment for Liam Finn, and a well-finished try for the Irish international Liam Finn, his 7th of the season. And very well constructed that by this Featherstone Rovers side. They haven't been firing on all cylinders this evening, Darryl Powell's team. Looks as though he's sitting in a railway carriage there, but he's actually in one of the boxes up here in the stand, and a bit happier about that after 1 or 2 fluffs earlier on.
But Keighley are not helping themselves. They're turning the ball over, they're making mistakes. You can see they get up into good field position. Schickel comes in, he knocks Feather out of the way. Featherstone get the penalty, they get the field position. And Finn, they're just standing back. They've got to get forward. Don't wait for Finn to make his play. You can see Finn gets the reward, he gets the try, but they're standing back and they're defending on the heels. Don't stand back, they've got to get up and try and force them into making the error.
Carl Briggs with 100% success rate so far this evening, and another formality for him from bang in front of the posts extends the lead for Featherstone Rovers to 18 points to nil. Liam Finn, the try scorer, and a great recruit he was for this Featherstone Rovers side in the close season. He was the Championship 1 Player of the Year in 2009 at Dewsbury, and he's not let up here in the Championship.
And that sort of time with the ball in his hands is going to be a joy for a playmaker like Liam Finn. Like Terry says, they need to really cut down the amount of time he has with the ball, but cut it down from the inside out. Don't rush up from the outside in. It's what he wants to see.
Fast move. Wait.
So Featherstone extend their lead through Liam Finn, who came here from the Dewsbury Rams and has already won a nomination as a player of the month for March, and he could be in for another try here. The pass from Saxton, and he will get back-to-back tries, will Finn. Well finished off that as well, and attacking from deep, this Featherstone Rovers side, and dejected-looking Keighley Cougars players trooping back to their own posts where they were just a few seconds ago, and Liam Finn celebrating as he was just a few moments ago.
This is fragile defence. You've got to make sure you made a tackle. He's gone across 4 players, 5 players. He's handed him off Tom Saxton. He's gone through, and that man again, Liam Finn, trekking up the middle of the park to score the try. But they've really got to step up the defensive efforts, this Keighley side.
And an opportunity here for Gavin Duffy. Once he's made this, once Saxton's got to there, Duffy needs to come in and hit him hard.
Nobody did, and Finn was there to finish again. He was the Rugby League World Player of the Month in March, was Liam Finn. And he could pick up 1 or 2 more accolades this season. Meanwhile, Briggs, another successful conversion from him. 24-0 the scoreline now for Featherstone. Well, Keighley kept it at 12-0 for quite some time, and mainly courtesy of Featherstone's fumbling, but they hadn't fumbled here.
As we see him skip across here, Bill, this is the opportunity. Duffy needs to come in and hit Saxton hard there. Strong run by Saxton, but like Terry says, some weak defence. Credit Liam Finn. After a try-scoring effort in the previous set, he's backed up and got himself another 4 points.
Well, we're beginning to see why this Featherstone Rovers side are spoken of as a real threat at the top of the table. They have already beaten, in fact, the last year's grand finalists, the 2 sides involved in that, with a win at Barrow last month by 20 points to 6, and an emphatic win over Halifax, 44 points to 4 at Easter. So Darryl Powell has assembled a pretty potent side here, did some wheeler dealing in the close season, recruiting Jesse Joe Parker, Ian Morrison, Finn, and Gratian and Ben Kay, plus Cody. He's rung the changes and he's getting the best out of it. 5th tackle on the halfway line. And here is Finn. Little kick over the top for the chasers. Nobody particularly enthusiastic about that.
But he's looked up, and all you can see is a blue line coming towards him. Darryl Powell sent on Andy Kane, and that's another man with electric speed from dummy half. Unless Keighley sort out the defence around the ruck, they're in for real problems tonight.
You've got to remember that Keighley weren't exactly prepared for this game. They were enjoying a bit of a break off. They'd been studying for their next opponents, who I think were going to be Whitehaven or Barrow. It was a Cumbrian side.
But they've had 2 weeks off, and they're going to be
But they'd had only 2 days warning that this was going to be their opponents tonight. They're trying to keep this ball alive right in their own 20.
Move.
The players will be ready to play this game. It's just that Featherstone are hot.
Well, that's the 5th tackle, and Keighley really struggling to make any sort of grounds now. They are playing up the hill here. They'll have that advantage in the second half, but they might be so far behind by then that they can't do anything with it.
That's not a bad result from that kick. Not a bad result. They can get set now on the 30.
Ian. Blood.
Slower restart, this will help as well. They need to try and work themselves back into this game. We've seen a couple of opportunities. They've been up near the Featherstone line. They haven't had the composure to complete a set or get a score on the board, but they have got up there. They need to sort their defence out in this part of the field as well.
Morrison having treatment in back play for a little cut to the face. Just like to point out in my defence that Keighley's next game is against Barrow, and then they play Whitehaven. So in fact they play Barrow, then Whitehaven.
They're up in Cumbria.
Well, one's at home.
They're playing Cumbrians.
They're playing Cumbrian opposition. Well, they're struggling with West Yorkshire opposition at the moment, in the shape of Featherstone Rovers, who lead by 24 points to 0. And are threatening once again, and they look threatening really every time they come forward now.
And Featherstone are just moving Keighley around. They're not taking the big lads on up in the middle of the park. They're attacking Jones on the edge.
And Gratian going down the short side, and a good tackle, just gets a foot into touch.
And John Gratian, the biggest winger I've ever seen.
Well done by Craig Moss, and we saw Moss pull off a big tackle against Halifax.
Tom Saxton, normally a winger, going. Oof. Lucky there. John Gratian thought he was in for this try. But they're causing havoc down both edges, the left and the right. They're not taking them on in the middle of the park. They're looking to target Jones. They're looking to target Presley, the halfbacks on either edge.
Let's go.
And a third old ponytail.
Come on.
That's the problem with having long legs like that.
What, you need a ponytail?
It's a consequence.
Fast. Move.
Well, Keighley are let off there because Gratian was very close to adding to the Featherstone Rovers tally.
2. Move. Stuart, let's have it fast at the rough. Don't use the
Half an hour gone. Featherstone lead by 24 points to 0. And
3.
just the one threat really on that Featherstone Rovers line from this Keighley Cougars side. The bottom of the table here against the top. James Feather.
Unlucky not to get the penalty then for a flop by Morrison.
On the halfway line.
5.
That's the 5th tackle.
Go.
Jones' little chip kick over the top and chasing it himself, but Hardman read that one well. Very experienced campaigner, Hardman. And the penalty awarded against Keighley.
And again, Jones is very good play. Just attacks anything. But good play by Ian Hardman. But again, the penalty just not helping themselves. They get up into the field position. They let themselves down.
You don't want to be too critical, but you wonder, has the call gone out amongst the Keighley players to stop giving away these play one penalties? It's they're crucifying themselves, forcing themselves now to make 98 tackles so far in the game, and on their defending their own line continuously.
Go.
Morrison out there strapped up again. Keighley already getting through their subs. Barry Eaton ringing the changes, but here come Featherstone again, and Briggs is just short, cries the referee. 4 tackles gone. Here is Hardman, and Hardman is just short as well, or is he?
He's down. I think I saw.
The referee is going to award the try without any hesitation. No referring to the video ref. Ian Hardman calmly celebrates his try, his 7th of the season. And in that melee of Keighley defenders, he still managed to get that ball down, a little gasp, and it's a very warm, still evening here.
Well, I'm sure Barry Eaton will be sending on a message. You've got to slow to play the ball down. On that occasion, Ian Hardman was just too strong for John Presley, the standoff for Keighley. And this is where they're winning the game. They're willing to run harder than their opposition. They're making the yards, they're chewing up the yards up the middle of the park, and they're getting rewarded with the tries.
Credit the referee, he put himself in a wonderful position and no hesitation in awarding that try without reference to the video. We criticise them when they get it wrong, Bill, sometimes, but he was bob on there.
Gareth Hewer, the referee this evening, and Kyle Briggs. Now then, this is the trickiest conversion he's probably faced all evening, I think, to maintain his 100% record with the boot in this match. Kyle Briggs, once of Doncaster and Leeds Academy, in fact. Round the corner, just composing himself, and gets that one on target as well. So Briggs not missing, and Featherstone Rovers on course for another one of their big victories. They like them big at the Big Fella Stadium, 30 points to 0.
And just looking at the Keighley players, there's only so many times you can go behind. You see Darryl Powell.
It's a railway carriage, or I'll tell you what, it's a camper van. He's in a camper van outside the ground.
Outside the ground? No, he's pulling away. It's a luxury one, that, if it is. But you can only go behind your stick so many times and say the same things, because otherwise you're just saying it to nobody. And I think this Keighley side, there's no talk behind the sticks, that they know that they've got to slow this team down, and at the minute they're just not competing in the defensive stakes.
From the restarts, here comes Jamie Field.
Tackle 3.
3 tackles gone, and Keighley will just be looking to get to half-time without any more damage. But there's every prospect of Featherstone inflicting more of that in the last 5.5 minutes. And Morrison,
Correct decision.
Right.
And that was a very good call by Danny Jones, because I'm sure he just called that. You can see he's trying to place the ball down.
I'm saying that defender was trying to get out of the way, and Ian Morrison didn't have the right to march forward.
Well, Purseglove was taking his time about moving away, Millard.
Well, he was on his rear end on this ground, doing his very best, I will say, Your Honour.
The verdict went in favour of the Keighley Cougars. They get the penalty. Blessing for them, that is, and an opportunity maybe still to get something on the board in this first half here. 5 minutes to go.
Wait, Tony, wait, Ian, wait. Go.
Baines plays the ball. Charging run from Greg Nicholson, another one of the former Featherstone contingents out there.
Hold. Go.
Jones now. Finds the pass to Rawlins, and they keep the ball alive, and they will get the try. Well, will they? Has he got that down? Has Presley got it down? He's held up, says the referee. That's an incredible...
He's got to go for the screen.
No, he's held up.
Surely.
I think he's held. I think he's got this right.
Well, Presley looked for all on there to be in for a try.
And they look, as soon as you looked up at it, they've got so much shape, so that when they get the field position,
Let's
they
look
can
here.
cross
Let's
the
look.
line.
Let's look.
I think he gets that ball
No,
down.
no. And the referee blew his whistle before it went down.
It was the touch judge who...
Is he still moving? Yes, he is.
He hasn't got that ball down, though.
The
There's no
referee
doubt.
blew his whistle before that ball went anywhere near the ground. That's no try.
Ray Tennant is the video ref. Well done, the touch judge, for spotting that. Well, Presley will be kicking himself if this is disallowed. But great defence from Featherstone Rovers, and that is commitment from Darryl Powell's team. 30 points to 0 up.
Held up.
Held up is the decision.
On the line.
That shows pride in your try-line defence. When you think that everything's lost, Presley was over the line. All he had to do was ground that ball. But not with this Featherstone defence. They are not the best defensive team in this championship for nothing.
They're going down the short side. They could yet get something here, but that's the turnover. They went for the power play, and Ollie Purseglove was just short.
Wait. Go.
So a golden opportunity going begging for this Featherstone Rovers side.
Move. Hold.
For the Keighley Cougars, I should say.
Go.
And Featherstone maintain their 30 points to 0 advantage here.
2. Move.
And we have a look at here again. Presley, a wonderful opportunity to score. He'll be very disappointed. Fair to say he'll be all shook up.
Move. Wait. Go.
Finn gets the kick away.
Get clear. Play up.
Duffy trying to wrong foot Hardacre, but Hardacre gets a hold of him.
Move. Hold. Go.
And now, who is willing to bring this ball forward? They've been under the cosh for 36 minutes of this game, all the first half, really. Good shot by Morrison.
That's a big hit on Ollie Purseglove. He felt that.
3. Move.
Rock back in the tackle just inside his own 40.
Go.
Well, Schickel will. Schickel won't shirk, I'm sure of that.
Help! 4. Andy, 10 metres. Go. Go.
On the halfway line with Rawlins now, and Rawlins,
5. Move.
that's the 5th tackle. He
Wait,
took some
Jamie,
putting
wait.
down. Tonks it was who finished him off.
Go.
And back with Jones, who drifts the kick over the top.
Play on.
And it's fielded by Hardacre.
Pass. Move. Wait.
I'm not sure about that kick, Bill. I'm not sure what he was trying to achieve there. It was neither here nor there, really, and made it quite easy for the Featherstone defenders, the Featherstone back three,
Andy,
to
10 metres with me.
clean it up and return it with a bit of interest.
Saxton now gets the ball away well to Finn. Morrison takes it back into the combat zone.
3. Move.
3 tackles gone as Ian Morrison
Go.
gets to his feet to play the ball. Cody,
4. Move.
one of the try scorers in this first half, emphatic first half performance largely from Featherstone Rovers. Finn for Tony Tonks.
5. Move.
Restored to the Featherstone Rovers side. Darryl Powell bringing people back for this game after the Warrington Cup tie. Well, Briggs has got that ball away. Jesse Joe Parker has surely knocked it on. If he hasn't, Hardacre has, and that'll be the turnover.
Ball coming loose there, and a bit of panic ache. Nobody can get their hands on it. Right decision in the end. Look, it's been a good 8 or so minutes for Keighley, Bill.
Well, they had that opportunity. So close they were to getting points on the board, and surely take encouragement from that. And Barry Eaton will be clutching at that as a sign that they can find a way through this Featherstone Rovers defence. They haven't done so far, but they were very close through Johnny Presley.
Wait, Kyle.
But then again, Featherstone Rovers have bombed a couple of opportunities as well, so the damage could be even greater. Little chip kick ahead from Jones, fielded by Jesse Joe Parker, and Parker gets the ball away to Hardman. Hardman
Fast! Move!
eventually tackled by Pursglove into the final minute of the first 40 here, and here is Jesse Joe Parker, and Parker almost through, and they're clinging onto him for dear life to stop the threat.
Get up!
Darting run from Andy Kane. Ball comes back, and it's scrappy as they look to keep this alive and then straighten it up the middle.
Like you say, Bill, I think Keighley are going to be looking forward to this final whistle.
Well, they've conceded a penalty. Schickel just with the knees in there. The hoot has sounded, but Liam Finn saying that they will go for the 2 points.
Well, he's kicked all right today so far.
Okay.
It's not as though it's likely to be nip and tuck at the end, though, is it?
No, you never know what 2 points at the end of the season might, it might work out for him. Give him a chance to practice anyway, and looking at this distance, Bill will back him out.
On his home ground, Kyle Briggs 5 from 5. 56 successes with the boot this season for Kyle Briggs so far. But he's under a bit of pressure to maintain his 100% record this evening with this long-range penalty to round off the first half here. Kicking towards the Post Office Road end as Briggs hits that one and is wide of the target. But Featherstone Rovers very much on target for another victory here to extend their lead at the top of the championship.